I got to be honest, I'm so pissed off right now because I've tried to shoot this video 5 different times with microphone issues. And I shot it for 30 minutes and then realized the microphone was broken. And then I thought I fixed it, tested it for 3 seconds. It worked. Did another 30 minutes broken. Waited till the next day, which is now today. Did it again, still broken. Went to Best Buy, bought a new microphone, came home to realize it actually wasn't that. The mic is fine, so spent $400 on a new mic to realize that it was just an adapter. And so I said, screw it. I'm clicking the record button. I'm just going to talk about what I was going to talk about because I finally fixed it. And I'm not even going to edit this video. And maybe it'll be the best video I've ever freaking made in my life. Today, I want to talk about income earners, higher income earners, and what I think they should do to get ahead in 2026 and the things that they can do to make things happen. And this is really for people that are maybe in sales. I see a lot of you guys that follow me that are in sales. You're in insurance sales, real estate, solar, network marketing, whatever it is. Or it's for people that just have a 9-to-5 job. And I don't say just as in a condescending way, but they have a 9-to-5 job. They have their 401k. They make a little bit of money and they want to know my thoughts. I want to talk about that today. It's going to be in a particular order because, you know, what's sad is by the age of 50, the average American has like 150,000 put away for retirement. Not enough to even really this day and age survive for 3 years. If you take the average of all retirement accounts, it's like $87,000. It's sad. It's terrible. And so the challenge is nobody really knows how to manage money. There's plenty of people making 100 grand a year, 200 grand a year, 300 grand a year, but nobody knows how to manage it. And there's a vast difference between earning money and deploying money. And for a lot of people, they just know how to do one of those, which is earn money. Very few people know how to earn it and then deploy it. And for a lot of people that are high income, what they end up doing is they end up earning a bunch of money and then they feel like they deserve it because they worked hard, so they spend it. Or B, they don't know what they're doing, but they know they should invest and then they don't do it in the right sequence. And because they don't do it in the right sequence, they screw themselves out of hundreds of thousands of dollars and decades of compounding. And so today I want to talk about, like, if I were to start over, if I don't have a kid yet, but if I had a son or if I had a little brother and they wanted advice, this is the video that I send them. This is the advice I give you. So to start this off, I just want to go down in the sequence and talk about the sequence. First and foremost, the most important thing for you to do right now is get yourself what I call a firewall. Now, a firewall is a protective mechanism against life. Your AC goes out, your water heater goes out, you're laid off of your job, you have a medical emergency, you got to travel somewhere, whatever. A lot of people, what happens is they invest, and they basically invest a bunch of their money, so they have nothing left. They spend it all or invest it all, they've got nothing left, and if any emergency comes up, now they have to go back into their brokerage account and withdraw it. Let's say, for instance, you had a $4,000 emergency, and you go into your brokerage account and pull it out. Well, you've done three things. Number one, you've pulled out $4,000, which kills just the $4,000 there. Number two, then it's no longer compounding for the next 30 years. And number three, psychologically, now you've lost belief in the system. So the first thing you need to do is build a firewall. And the firewall is your protective mechanism. That is a few months worth of expenses. I don't care what the rate of interest is. Put it in a high yield savings, put it in a money market. Don't even lock it up in a CD. I don't care. Don't think about it. Put it away. A couple of months of expenses. The more sturdy you feel in your job, the least amount of time you need. So if you feel really sturdy in your job, be my guest. Do a few months. If you feel like your job's not very sturdy and your income fluctuates like crazy, do it for 6 months. But build your firewall. That way, whenever anything bad happens to you, which is inevitable in life, you can just grab it and go. You don't have to reach into any of your investment accounts. The second thing is looking at your 401k match if you have this available. So if you get a W-2 or if you get some sort of 401k program, you want to take the maximum match that they give you. So let's say, for instance, you make $200,000 a year and they'll match, 4%. That's $8,000. What'll happen is you can invest $8,000 and they will match $8,000. So you've invested 8 and they're going to put an 8 on your behalf. Well, guess what just happened? You put an 8 and there's actually 16,000 in there. That is exactly what you want to be doing early on. Now, all of your advisors are going to say, max out your 401k. You don't want to max it out. You want to max it up to the match and then do the rest that I talk about today and then circle back. So the first thing is, that's the first 100% ROI that you're ever going to find in your life is I put in 8 grand and you put in 8 grand. Well, you just created 8 grand out of thin air. There's no other investment, not real estate, not private equity, nothing, not even yourself, that is a guaranteed 100% return. So the first thing you want to do there is maximum the match there so that you can get that free money. After that, now let's talk about your debt. This is the third step. Your debt is this high interest debt. Now, I'm not talking about, a home loan. For instance, this house I sit in is a 2.7% interest rate. As long as I'm in it, there's no reason for me to sell or basically pay off this mortgage. Like, there's no reason at all. 2.7%. I can get a higher rate of interest in a money market account, a high yield savings, or a treasury bill. So I'm not going to get out of that, but I'm talking about, say it's 10%. Well, if it's 10% rate of interest, you're going to want to pay that down. The average, by the way, rate of interest on credit card debt is between 20 and 28%. So about a quarter of your current balance is going to interest. So if you have option A, I have 10 grand, let's say, and I have 10 grand of debt. What do? I have 10 grand cash with 10 grand of credit card debt. Do I invest it or do I pay it off? Well, watch this. If I have 10 grand to invest, let's say I make 10% a year and I put in 10 grand, I made $1,000. 1,000 is 10% of 10,000. On the opposite side of the spectrum, if I take that same 10 grand and just pay off the credit card debt that currently has a 20% rate of interest, I just saved myself 2 grand a year in interest. That's a net difference of $1,000. I just made myself instantaneously $1,000 I wouldn't have had. And by the way, that was a guaranteed return again. So for a lot of you, the best investment is no investment at all. It's paying down your debt. There's too many people on my channel even message me, what's the next big thing? They need to get out of debt. They've got debt. I've got no debt. My life is completely debt-free other than my 2.7% mortgage. I've got no student loans. I got no personal loans. I got no car loans. I got no medical loans. Every other debt is gone, and that serves two purposes. Number one, it allows me to compound faster. But number two, it's, oh baby, peace of mind. I don't invest all for monetary. I invest for peace of mind. There's situations I've left. I've gotten out of businesses that made good money for peace of mind. I've done things that make no financial sense for peace of mind. I have paid off some debt for peace of mind. I hate having some bank tell me I owe them money. And listen, I know people right now that are highly successful, that they have debt on debt on debt. They have all the money in the world. They still pay down car loan debt. That's their own prerogative. Let them do it. My advice is peace of mind, because every morning I can wake up and I realize I don't have to make a whole lot of money if I don't want to, and I can sustain my lifestyle. But other people, guess what happens? They have to make a whole lot of money in order to sustain their lifestyle. And that's a difficult situation to be in, and that's also a big peace of mind risk here. Number three, or number four, wherever we're at after this, after we pay down our debt, after we've got our firewall, after we got our 401k match, is your Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is the number one wealth building tool in 2026. If you don't have one, you need one. I don't care what income threshold you're at. A lot of people think, oh, Patrick, Roth IRAs are only for people that make $150,000 a year and less. Technically, you're correct. That's in the code, but it's wrong, because there's a backdoor Roth IRA. How you do it, by the way, is super easy. You go to your brokerage, like let's say Charles Schwab, and you say, I want to open a traditional IRA. When you invest money in a traditional IRA, you're investing after-tax dollars, meaning it's money you've already been taxed on. When you do that, you can now convert up to $7,500 from your traditional IRA into your Roth IRA, which $7,500 is the maximum amount you can invest directly anyway if you're below the income threshold. So now, no matter what income you're at, you're able to add $7,500 a year into your Roth IRA, which is growing tax-free. That's why it's so powerful. Because if you start doing this in your low 20s and you do this for 40 years, $7,500 a year, and you make just 8% a year, you're on a way to $1 million account right there, and that's just one strategy. So you want to make sure every year before you make any other investment, you're matching your 401k, your debt's paid down, you got your firewall, you have no other investments so far, you max out your Roth IRA. After you've done that, then you can go on to your other investment vehicles. But that's the next thing you want to max out. The next thing after maxing out your Roth IRA is the only triple tax advantaged account that I'm aware of is the HSA, Health Savings Account. The only triple tax advantaged account available to you as an American. Such a beautiful account. How this works is you can contribute a little over $4,000 a year into a health savings account. This means you can put money in, which by the way is tax deductible. There's your first tax advantage. It can then grow tax-free. your second tax advantage, and you can withdraw that money tax-free to pay for medical expenses, which is your third tax advantage. Triple tax advantage. You can write off the investment, it grows tax-free, you pull it out tax-free. Now here's the kicker. Here's the golden nugget if you're taking notes. You don't have to pull it out right when you have a medical expense. So for example, I've got a lot of teeth work done. I got a lot of porcelain in my mouth. My mouth is a Cadillac, to say the least. Okay, these are all veneers. And in order to fix sometimes these things, insurance won't always cover it. Insurance will say, hey, some of that's cosmetic, we'll cover 50%. Well, one of these teeth costs $2,400. Every tooth is $2,400, $2,400, $2,400. You get it. So I go in and I want to get one fixed. We're talking about, if they'll cover half of it, $1,200 out of my pocket. So in this context, what can I do? Well, I could just pay out of my pocket, or I could pay out of my health savings account. But there's something in the middle. There's a little gray area here, fully legal, by the way, that I would like you to follow. While you're making good money right now in your younger years, don't pull the money out of your health savings account. When the lady says it'll be $1,200, give her your credit card and pay it. And then say, can I have the receipt, please? And keep the receipt in a file folder in a fireproof safe. What you're going to do now is you're going to keep that receipt until you're in your 60s. And you're going to pay all your medical expenses out of pocket for the next 20-something years. Why? Because you just changed your health savings account to an HIA, I made that term up, health investment account. Now, why is this so special? Well, check out what this means. Now, all that money, so in this case, it had been $1,200 on this tooth. It could be 10 teeth. That could be $12,000. It's now compounding because it stayed in the health savings account. It's still compounding. But then, guess what? I kept all the receipts throughout the years, so all that money compounded tax-free, and then when I actually need the money, it's another form of retirement. You see that? Now I'm 65. I might not have any medical expenses going on because now I got all different medical coverage anyway. I might not even have those medical expenses, but now I can go into my stash, my fireproof safe, and I can say, man, I got $100,000 worth of expenses over the last 30 years that I paid out of my own pocket. I'm going to start reimbursing myself. By the way, it's tax-free. I wrote off the investment into it, and I got paid out of it tax-free. The only triple tax advantage account known to mankind in the tax code, and it's a loophole that almost nobody knows about. So I advise that you don't just immediately take the money out of the health savings account, you actually let it compound. But that leads us to the next piece of this, which is known as the mega backdoor Roth 401k. So you've maxed out your 401k through the match. But the match is not the ceiling. In fact, the ceiling can be north of $70,000 in 2026. So you can invest a ton of money in your 401k. But what you can do at this point in time is you can already maximize that, and then you can have the employer put in the rest of the money, so you can have them match a little bit more if there's any more left to match. But after that, you can put money in. Now, when you put money in, guess what you can do? You can also do a rollover conversion into a 401k IRA. So now you can get more money tax advantage. In this case, in most people's case that are single, you can get up to $40,000 or a little bit more than that now, $45,000 in 2026 due to the tax code getting higher here, of tax advantaged money that will not be taxed when you withdraw it out because these are after tax contributions into your 401k. So imagine this, the end of the year happens. You've already gotten all your 401k maxed out, and you've got all your paychecks, all your pay stubs. You've invested in your Roth IRA, you've invested in your HSA, you maybe did a real estate play, but you've already been taxed on this money, and now you've got $20,000 sitting. You can invest that, it's already been taxed, into the 401k. Now you can grow it tax-free because it's in a backdoor 401k Roth conversion. This is another beautiful loophole in the tax code that I want you guys to be aware of. If I had a little brother, which I don't, or if I had a son, which I will at some day, hopefully, this is the information I would tell them. But you are, whether you're older than me or younger than me, you're my student. These are the things I want you to be aware of. And whether you're taking one little piece, two pieces, or all of them in a row, I want you to follow this sequence. And so let's talk real briefly before we wrap up this video what the sequence is. The sequence starts at the top. The top is making sure that you have some sort of firewall protection. So I got to make sure that I have a firewall protecting me from any sort of emergency. Then after that, I want to make sure that I'm getting the match from my employer. That's number two. Number 3, then what I'm doing is I'm maxing out my Roth IRA. All while on also number 3 or number 4, you can interchange them, I'm also getting rid of all of my high interest credit card debt. After that, I'm utilizing my HSA account. And after that, I'm using after-tax dollars to contribute back into my 401k to do a mega backdoor Roth into that 401k so I don't get taxed on that money later. Because granted, you could do the same thing and just open an outside, say open in Robinhood or Charles Schwab with 20 grand. But now when you make gains and you pull it out, you're going to get taxed on it. What I'm trying to do is show you ways to get tax advantage, because one thing's for certain. They're going to keep printing money. They're going to keep inflating away our dollars, which causes the markets overall to go up. That's literally the cause and effect. If they don't inflate away our dollars, the market's not as hot as it is, and it won't be as hot as it would be in the future. But another thing is, I cannot suspect a world we live in where taxes don't continue to rise. They're trending higher. And so I'm making an assumption that taxes are going to be lower today than they are in 30 years. So I would rather put all of my money away today, so when I pull it out in 30 years, it's not getting smacked, because God knows what that world looks like. You don't even know. You might think, oh, a long-term cap gains, Patrick, I'm only going to get smacked at 10% or whatever. What's to tell you that that's the tax code in 30 years? It's not like when you invest it, you can grandfather yourself into the tax code. It's going to be whatever that looks like. And so that's why it's so critical to take advantage of these tax savings and these tax advantage accounts. I hope this is valuable. I don't know if it is at all, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.